Hey guys, for today's game, I'm going to be playing MALPHITE in the top lane, and I'm going to show you what to do when you're autofilled top lane, you don't know how to play top lane at all. This is how you do it. You pick MALPHITE with Comet top. You can run this in anything. Ideally, it works best against like AD range tops with no sustain. Something like Quinn. Something that most top laners usually hate, but you pick MALPHITE, you take no skill, and this is how you play it. So basically, we sit back and we farm. We don't have to force the issue because we're going to outscale this. So we actually don't have to even play the game really. We just sit back and chill. Every time our mana flow band and our comet are up, we're going to be throwing it. That's it. So don't throw your Q. Don't throw your Q when it's off cooldown. Wait until your comet and mana flow band are back up. If you're feeling like you might die, like you got too low or whatever, you can, he's being annoying because he's about to ult too. So I'm backing off there. But if you feel like you might die, just sit back and wait for your passive to come up before you walk up in queue. So again, mana flow band and commenter back up. I was walk up. And look, he's lower health than I am. He's getting absolutely owned. And it's like no skill. I just walk up and press Q. That's it. That's the entire gameplay. And that's this MALPHITE build in a nutshell. And if you feel like you can get a good lead, you can actually build like a Doran's Ring or even like a Dark Seal if you're feeling spicy. And you can actually get kills on this guy as an autofilled player by pressing Q a few times, and eventually we hit level 6 into your ult. It's very simple, very easy. It's something I do when I play in you know, my Grandmaster Challenger games. It's a crazy good strategy. A lot of people employ it, and this could be something that you implement in your games. Whether like say you're a one-trick trainer like me, your champion gets banned, and you know, you want to pick something because you don't want to have to wait for that 5 minutes through that dodge. You pick MALPHITE top with Comet and you scale and become monster. So picks you should watch out for though. I've had trouble with Mordekaiser and Silas and Akali. No one plays Akali. Maybe after the buff. Maybe they will. Who knows? But no one plays Akali. And Silas, I mean, if you really want to, you could even just like ban Silas, because that's like the #1 counter for sure. And Mordekaiser, nobody really plays Mord, so you don't have to worry too much about it. And honestly, even against Mord, you could just Q-max against that too. You might get denied some CS, but it's not even that bad. Look at this. We scaling. Look at that HP bar. It just absolutely destroyed. So it's Q-max, if you didn't see that already. So I'm about to shove it in, so I'm just going to spam my Qs. Whereas before, I was going, where I was just waiting for the mana flow band. Now I'm just going to spam it, because I'm going to get this wave all the way into turret. And then I'm going to take my back. So, don't even have to get a kill on this person, although, look at the health bar. Honestly, if my jungler is here, this guy would die. Maybe he still dies, I don't know. I might use a biscuit. You might get baited into thinking I have no mana, and just die, right? He has Ignite, so he's pretty screwed. We'll see. I'm about to hit 6 here. I have to be a little bit careful if Evelyn comes up, but I think with my 6 coming up, I'd be able to at least get a 1-for-1. And, like, say if I was, like, autofilled or whatever, I mean, this would be, like, a great result, right? There we go. Kill for Karthus. Wow, what a great game. Also, another really fun, like, full-on skill champion right there. Yeah, we're just like, our team is just full of too much skill. We're just outskilling our opponents. So yeah, this is the auto-filled MALPHITE build in a nutshell. You can employ this in all of your games, and people will hate you for it because there's not a lot of counterplay to this, and then you still have those amazing ultimates. So let me talk about runes. So Comet, for sure. You want to Q-Max, get that extra damage from Comet, get the extra damage from Scorch. Transcendence for more ultis later into the game. We still build tank, by the way. So I'm probably going to run this. I'm going to get boots and pink ward. So we still build tank. It's just the Q-Max is just for early lane. If we're feeling spicy, maybe we add in Dark Seal or Doran's Ring, but no AP past that because you still want to be tanky for mid game. You got Mana Flip Band to help keep your mana up. You got Biscuits for the exact same reason. And Cosmic Insight so you can TP and flash more often. So this Quinn, he burned his flash to dodge my last ulti. So it looks like he was prepared for it. But you know what that means? That means that next time I use my ulti, he just dies. Because this MALPHITE build actually does ridiculous damage, and the only bad side to it is that you're not going to be as tanky as a regular MALPHITE. But let's be honest, ADCs can shred MALPHITE later in the game once they get like 4 items. As soon as they build like Lord Dominic's or Serelda's or whatever their champion builds, even a Malshot will get shredded by a late game ADC. MALPHITE is all about mid game, all about his ultis. That's it. So I don't even have to do anything. Look at that. Probably one more Q and then ulti will be enough to kill him. And always use your ulti as an execute. Don't just like lead off with your ulti when it's full HP. Because your ulti is like your #1 escape tool. Like you don't want to feed, right? So just save your ulti for the escape. That way you don't have to use flash. In case like this Evelyn decides to come top, right? So, we chilling. I'm pressing Q if he walks up, that's it. I'm building tanky, so it's gonna be hard for him to take away my HP bar. So it's Q max into E max second. So once you get your mana flow band stacked up all the way, you can just start spamming your Q. Because you'll have enough mana, enough regen to just own them. So I wanted to make sure I used my Q while my corrupting pot was going. So these like no sustain champions is what this does best against. But even against a champion with sustain, say if you played against like a Renekton or something, I mean, you'd still go even. Like this is like an ideal matchup for this. But not an ideal matchup would, oh. Wait. There's, I think Quinn had to back. So, things to look for. If you are truly autofilled, and maybe you have an ADC who has a high win rate or something, look for TP's bottom. Or if you just want to play just for mid-game dragon fights, don't even worry about TPing bottom, just like, especially if it's a good matchup, just worry about your lane. So this Quinn has to play super safe just to survive. So, yeah, I think I kill him though. A little bit off damage. But he has to back. It's gonna be very hard for him to stay in lane. I think he was looking for a plant. I'm just gonna go ahead and back. I'm sitting on a lot of gold. I have enough for Sunfire. Which, by the way, I suggest you get Sunfire Aegis if you want the Tenacity Soul Resist, which that team has a ton of CC. So this is something I definitely want. Wow, he just walked him to stay in lane. Let's do this. I'm gonna grab blue trinket because they have an Evelyn, and I'm gonna pop that right there. I'm just gonna shove. He's going back, so we've got pretty good CS. Not doing anything too crazy here. We're pressing Q. This is MALPHITE Gaming. And even though I didn't get a substantial lead on my opponent, it is a Quinn that, you know, thing doesn't scale. Not really well, at least. Let's see. I think we can run mid, maybe. Maybe we can run mid for the Zoe. You try to get her something. Because we have full pressure and priority on our lane. Like 150 gold bounty, haven't done a thing. It's probably just because I have such a big CS gap on the Quinn.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
So if you're autofilled and you got this amount of lead, like, that's kind of crazy for your like win percentages, whatever, on your autofill roll. So this guy's half HP. Probably could do one more cube for ulting. That way we don't miss the damage like last time. So when you're at your most vulnerable is when your ulti is down. So really gotta make sure you get the kill. Kind of sucked last time when I didn't. Because it did leave me vulnerable to an Evelyn gank. I do have a ward, but you know, Evelyn can lane gank too. There it is. MALPHITE Gaming. So, I think the best picks for this to work against, maybe like Jace is pretty good. Quinn, Vayne top, Lucian top. Obviously, MALPHITE does the best against AD champions. But mostly it's like champions out sustain is what this build works best against. I think we saw Evelyn. Oh yeah, Evelyn's dead, so we could just take this. I'm gonna shove this in real quick. I think I'll be able to get. That's full turret. And yeah, so not only do we do all this poke damage, but we could just walk away at such high move speed. This is why we get the blue trinket, by the way, versus Evelyn. Because regular wards don't spot her out, but if we just get the blue trinket and blue trinket her camps, when she goes and does her camps, we'll see it. I'm just gonna grab this, and I am gonna build some HP. So I'm gonna build Wing Moon Plate. They have a lot of magic damage on their team. So, I think I want move speed just so I can go in and out of the fight. My next TP is going to go bot side. We want to start playing for those dragons. We do have good scaling with like Karthus. Even, I would say Ezreal scales pretty well. Although he didn't go the Essence Reaver Duskblade build, which is like super strong. But still, Ezreal does pretty well.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Back up a little bit. I kind of want to stay in the center of the lane so Evelyn can't sneak behind me as she's looking for a lane gank. And yeah, I'm building full tank, but I can also just like one-shot once they get to about half HP, which, you know, is perfectly balanced. They'll get the first dragon, it's fine. It's about really denying them from getting like their third dragon, so we're not put at soul point. This is pretty important. Okay, got that wave crash in. I'm just gonna go and reset here. I think I'm gonna go Deadman's, because that's going to give me a lot of move speed so I can rotate between lanes, and it's going to give me a lot of health and armor. Armor on MALPHITE means more damage on my E. Also means more armor because, you know, armor scaling on armor That makes sense. And we're gonna look for a play. So our ult cooldown right now is 80 seconds. Something else we could buy, if they didn't have as much magic damage, they had more AD, we could build a Frozen Heart, which give us flat armor, a bunch of it, and it would give us ability haste, so we can get more ultis. I'm just gonna walk him through a queue. I was always playing pretty scared. I'll take those. Oh wow, I'm taking damage, sort of. So Quinn's missing from top. We got a Karthus skill. Zoom out of here. So I'm a big front line that will allow the rest of my team to deal tons of damage. And if they walk up, then they're gonna be very sad. And if they group together like that, we reckon. I died, but I don't mind that. As a tank, it doesn't matter if we die or not. Like, if I go in, I ult 3 people like that, I've served my purpose in the fight. I just try to do as much damage as possible at that point. Something to also keep in mind when you're playing a tank, make sure that, say if there's like an Ashe arrow coming down, or maybe Evelyn's trying to get on somebody, look to make sure that you try to tank skill shots for your teammates. That's super important as a frontline tank. Oh, he didn't hit the eye in time. Rip. I think he misclicked on the minion. Okay. Now, all we do as far as macro-wise with MALPHITE, we just run around with our team every time our ult's up, which is, you know, all the freaking time. We just force fights and look for favorable situations, look to feel for our team. Picking my ult cooldown. I'm just gonna queue basically anything. And we're just gonna try to force the fight. MALPHITE is like, if not the best, one of the best mid-game champions, because of that ability to just instantly engage like that. And because of the Cosmic Insight, look at my flash cooldown, 254 seconds. If we really felt cocky, we could build something like CDR boots as well. And that would reduce the cooldown. I'm gonna spam my corrupting pots just to heal up. So as far as runes go, if you wanted to, you could also go Magical Footwear instead of the Cosmic Insight. I really like the Cosmic Insight just for the extra flashes, the extra TPs and all that. Let's go ahead and get this. So now, every time an objective up, like a minute and a half to a minute before it's up, spam ping it so your team's on the same page. Especially if you're like silver. People don't know about objectives. Try to teach them. Got a red buff for Ezreal. Let me go ahead and blue trinket this. Evelyn decides to be a little bit annoying, so I'm just gonna walk away at a brisk pace. Team wasn't really thinking about the dragon, I think. Alright, now we might have to play over Baron. I'm not gonna use TP here, because they don't really have a super fast Baron killing comp. Brand does some damage, that's it. Just gonna walk out. My team getting all caught out there. This is the bane of MALPHITE. There's only so much you can do in a fight. Your carries still have to position properly. That's why people don't like just man this champion straight up. I'm pretty fast. He can't outrun me. He's just He's just getting kited. Let me run these people down too. I'm on the. That's just why I like building move speed, man. Like, the brand just can't run away from me, and he had no one coming back to heal him because they were worried about the dragon. Alright, let me soak up some of this farm. Alright, let's do Baron. So, I think the Baron, so let's do Baron. Just give your team some general macro, which this is something you learn just by playing the game. Knowing to go for objectives and all that. This is something that carries over through every position, so if you're autofilled, this will be stuff that you still know and want to do. And that's all you have to focus on. The lane phase, super simple. Spam Q, get some farm. And then you just have to worry about your macro from that point, right? Ping this.
An enemy has been slain.
Alright, let's do it. Alright, I'm gonna back and TP with Force of Nature. Oh wow, she's fast. Alright. At one point, we're gonna get our team to do the Baron. Maybe not today. Find ADC. Dive ADC. This is MALPHITE Gaming. Become too tanky to deal with in a fight. So get a good combination of armor. And if you need it, MR. So you can tank absolutely everything. Choose the correct fight to go for. And even a team, like, it's very clear my team didn't know what objectives to go for. But you can kind of force the issue. Nice. Deadman's plate damage got us extra damage, so we're going to close this out. See if we can't win. We should be able to win here. You get some extra DPS. Alright guys, that's MALPHITE. You can play this as an autofill. It's really simple. And if you get a harder matchup like Silas or Mordecai or any of the others I mentioned, just Q farm. Get your mana flow band stacks, skill, be a mid-game monster. There it is. That's MALPHITE Gaming. Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.